Could they be imported to game engines? The final product will be
Yeah,
is importable. You can export it as a DAE or a GLTF, or I
yeah.
mean, if
You
you really want
you,
to, an
you can't
OBJ.
export the nodes.
Yeah,
It's
you
very
export the final
similar.
project.
Yeah, it's very similar to materials. You can export a material from Blender to Godot to Unity to Unreal, but most of the settings don't come across. They need to be reset up in that specific render engine. We're very, very lucky. It didn't used to be like this with Blender. You used to have, I can't even remember what it's called, but Blender's original render engine and Cycles. There were two different render engines, and I think it was called Blender Render actually. But they were two separate engines that didn't talk to one another at all. Eevee, which is like the real-time rasterization engine within Blender, and Cycles are very similar. And the Blender devs have done an absolutely wonderful job of making it so that if you've got a material in Eevee, it will roughly work in Cycles. There are some things that don't quite work like that. Reflections, for instance, are nearly impossible to do with screen space
Oops.
reflections. It's gone dark again.
The lamp branded batteries.
Wah wah. And so yeah, the main thing that's different between Eevee and Cycles is the lighting. So you can't always swap out lights. You can swap out lights. Sorry, you can't have a point lamp or a sun lamp in one scene and expect it to look. You usually look the
This is
same. You
true
usually
whenever
have
you're
to,
using a
yeah,
render thing, and people have mentioned this, like, why is it does a scene look different in Blender than when I import it into Godot? It's because they're using different render
yeah,
engines.
yeah. That's always going to be the case.
Yeah, because all render engines are an approximation for how light and physics work,
Yeah, even things
and the
like
more accurate it
Cycles.
is, the slower it is.
Yeah, Cycles. I mean, it's brilliant what Unreal have done recently with their Lumen engine. But that's using path tracing to add on top of, I believe it is anyway, to add on top of every other technology they've got. And I'm really looking forward to Godot 4 with its real time
I'm looking
global
forward to Godot 4
illumination.
with all the things
I can't remember.
FI, SDFI.
SDGFI?